Okay. Welcome, everybody. I want to wish you an amazing day. I'm very excited to be here. Paul is also here with me today. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Vincent.
So today it's a tech call. We're going to talk about screen-to-screen selling. I want to spend a few minutes, as usual, on tech call, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And I want to emphasize the importance of screen-to-screen selling. This is something that I cannot say enough. The market is changing, and if you don't adapt, you're going to be left behind. If you look at the digital adoption in boat sales over the last 20 years, you can distinct three different eras. Number one, from end of 1990s to around 2008, we were in the boat sales 3.0 era, which was essentially search marketing based. We started to have classified site, editorial, video, multiple listing sites, of course, search engine that started to appear. But then starting in 2008, we started to have a new era in boat sales 2.0, with the rise of social media. So that was essentially an interruption marketing era. So we started to see YouTube, a lot of different social media channels, new type of content, virtual tour also. But since 2020, we are entering a new era, boat sales 3.0. And I really want you to understand, as a boat sales professional, that you need to win this online game, because the game is played online in boat sales 3.0. So on-demand marketing, essentially. Why on-demand marketing? Because you're bringing the boat to the client online. Now, what does that look like? This is, if I show you a graph, I wanted to do a graph with my team to show you what does that look like. So essentially, with a graph, it looks something like this. So boat sales 1.0, we start to have digital adoption that is rising, big growth from boat sales 2.0 until 2020, but we are now in boat sales 3.0, exponential. And you can see here, what do we have? We have a webcam with like two people chatting, because this is the era where we do FaceTime, we do Zoom calls, we're meeting personally, online, virtually online, where we use virtual tour and video combined. This is what we do. Now, if you think about it, let's take a step back for a moment. When a buyer is looking for something, whether it's a house, a boat, luxury, doesn't matter. They're looking for two things online. Number one, they're looking for information. And number two, they're looking for trust. And once you have enough of those two things, you're going to pull the trigger and buy. So information and trust. So what is the best way to convey trust online? Video meeting, one-on-one. Do you know the second most visited page on any website, except product, service, of course, it's About Us page. Because we're not in B2B, we're not in B2C, we're in H2H, we're in the human-to-human era. And people are craving this human connection. So the best way to convey trust online is to have a video call with someone. And the best way to share information online is to have a virtual tour, because you can show everything, the whole space virtually. You experience the whole space. You can navigate, you can see the interior, you can see the exterior, technical area. So this is why we put together one-click showing, because it combines both. Now, today, I don't have time to give you a big class on screen-to-screen selling. I'm going to give you a snippet of the class that I typically teach to our students. So we went from an old mantra, get them to the dealership, get them to the boat, get them to the boat show, to our new mantra, which is essentially we're going to bring the boat to the client, bring the boat to the customer. And how do we do this? Online. On average, here is a stat that I found a few weeks ago. On average, 47% of buyers only visit one dealership. This means that the battle for business is happening online. There is a great gentleman, he's part of the big boating families. They used to own like a really big shipyard, one of the biggest shipyards in the US, actually. And he told me something a few years ago at the boat show. He said, the boat have been sold mentally prior to the boat show. And I thought that was and that was still a few years ago, but it is true. People are making their decision purchase online, and then they're going to quickly see it in person and order it. Or in the case of new product like Tesla, for instance, I have a Tesla. I didn't even go to see it in person. I just ordered it online because I have enough trust, enough information. Boom, putting the order, ordering it online. So I want you to understand this new dynamic. The future belongs to hybrid and online brokerages. The future belongs to hybrid and online dealership. The future belongs to hybrid and online charter companies. Because the boating business is a people business, but it needs to be won online. And the most successful brokers, the most successful dealers are those who connect with boat buyers and offer them the full online buying experience. So I want you to develop a platform that engage boat buyers just like they would online. For that reason, we'll give you one-click showing. Like they would, in person. That's why we'll give you one-click showing. Because you can see the boat as you would see in person, and you can meet someone as you would meet them in person. Virtual tour plus one-on-one video call combined, it's the best thing you can do online versus being there in person. Because if we deconstruct boat sales, no sales is happening unless money exchange hands. No money exchange hands unless there is an offer. No offer happen unless there is a showing, and no showing happen unless there is a conversation. So what are we giving you with one-click showing? More conversation and more showings, and we're removing the friction. Because it's called one-click showing, because in less than 10 seconds, you can bring anybody around the world, anywhere on board your boat. We've had some virtual boat show. More than 20 boats were sold over the weekend online. Online, purely online. People didn't go to see them in person. The whole process from looking, choosing, buying was done online. So you're going to create digital walking. So your client can actively explore your product, have a great conversation with you, build trust, get the information they need so they can make their purchase decision. So virtual selling will become the new normal. The only question is, are you ready? So if you are ready, we want to help you. I want you to head to showandsellmoreboats.com and look at the information. We have the whole system ready for you. We have the whole system ready for you. You can receive it at home. You can start capturing your boat with a one-click capture. You literally click one button, it will start capturing your boat. And then you upload. We do the whole thing for you. My team does the whole thing for you. And you can start showing your product, your boats. So easy to use. $49 a month, unlimited showings. So don't wait. This is not a sales pitch. This is an educational video. And I'm giving you the why you should do it. I'm not pressuring you to do it. You do whatever. You can sell the boat the way you want. But what we're doing here is we're looking at consumers' behavior. Because if you go to the library, there is thousands of books on how to sell. But there are very little books on why people buy. So what we did with one-click showing is we look at how people buy and why people buy. And we build the product based on their behavior. So what are we going to do? So what does virtual selling include? We have conversation and we have presentation. So the money is in the conversation. That's why we include the video call. A virtual tour is just a presentation. A VR Meet, when you include the video call, is a conversation. And the money is in the conversation. So today, we're not going to go through the entire, because typically in the screen-to-screen selling class, I will go through each element and give you the best practices for each element. I'm just going to go to the latest one. We're going to go to, let's go to number 10. I'm just going to do number 10 with you guys, which is the presence. Okay, here you go. So a few tips for when you're doing video call, when you're doing online presentation, live call with clients. A few tips, and I want to show you, and then we'll wrap this call. Number one, every time you're doing a presentation online, I want you to smile. Smiling is so important, especially when you're greeting your clients. You have energy in your voice. You always want to have a little bit more energy when you're on a videos that you have in person. You got to let them talk and show that you care. This call, this video call is not about your product. It's about your client. First and foremost is about your clients, and then it's about your product, and then it's about you. But it's not about you and your product. Now, remember, the money is in the conversation, not just a presentation. So don't just present your product. Have an engaging dialogue conversation with the clients. You build rapport, familiarity bias. That's why you want to have the video call. That's why it's better to be on a video than on a phone call. So here is what you can tell them. Shall we get on a video to bring a face to a voice? Or why don't we turn on a little bit the video to get to know each other? And after that, you can turn it off if you wish. That way, you want to build familiarity. When you go to car dealership, do you know what they do? They tell you, oh, come to the office. You sit down. They're like, I got to get a copy. I come back. I got to see the manager. I come back. I have to pick up something. I come back. I have to see finance manager. I come back. And just like that, they will come back 5, 6, 7 times during your meeting. Do you know that they do that on purpose? It's called familiarity bias, because at the end of the meeting, you've seen them on and off 6, 7 times, which means like it's like you've seen someone in your life 6 or 7 times. They're more familiar with you. They're more likely to do business with you. So that's why you want to have a video call, to build familiarity with them. Always start by telling them something positive. Sometimes when I see that people are in a good mood, they are happy, I tell them, you seem to be in a great mood today. What's your secret? Is that your morning run, your morning green shake, your morning yoga? And then they laugh, I laugh, and then we start the presentation on a good note, good energy. Another thing that you want to do is state the agenda. So tell them, so here is what we can do, or here is what we'll do. I'll show you the boat around, and if everything is to your liking, we can guide you to the next step to get this boat today. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to buy the boat today, but to the next step. Your job as a sales professional is always to bring them to the next step. Now, what's your objective of screen-to-screen selling? What's your objective when you have a video call with a client? You have only one objective. It's not selling, because when you're selling, going to pressure, you want to move forward in the sales. But in order to move forward in the sales, you need to bring the energy forward. And you have to focus on leaving them happier after the call than when they came in. That's your main objective. So you're happier about you, they'll be happier about your product, they're happier about themselves. Nobody is going to shop with friends in an afternoon and they are miserable. When you go shopping with your friends, you feel happy. You buy things when you're happy. So what about the attitude that you need to have? Look at the person in the eye, first of all, when you call, it's very important. But the first thing you do, and you don't say that, of course, verbally, but when you start a conversation with them, you're going to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Because you want to provide value, you want to be there for them, and you want to have good energy in your presentation. So say that in your head, I love you, I love you, I love you. When Paul came in the call, when Erika came in the call, and when you guys are going to watch the call later, I cannot say when you watch later, but when you guys came live, I did these things in my head quickly because I want to give good energy. I want to provide value. Remember the word selling. Selling comes from an old English word sellen, which means to give. So when you sell, you give. Selling comes from the heart. It's not taking with your hand. It's giving something with your heart. So remember this acronym for selling, which is sincere empathy by listening and loving. Sincere empathy, you need to have a lot of empathy, a lot of curiosity by listening and loving. So I hope this gives you a little overview of screen-to-screen selling. We don't have time to go through the whole class, which is typically I will teach the whole class with all the questions and everything, the whole process, the whole technical and human process, body language. But today I want to give you a quick overview. So if you are interested to have a system that is really adapted to the way people buy boats today, you go to showandsellmoreboats.com. We have a FAQ with all the questions. If you have any more questions, you can contact me directly. But I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I know that we just started this community, so we don't have too many people in the call, but it doesn't matter to me. I've done call with 300 people. I've done call with one person. And for me, I'm always happy the same way. I'm always happy to provide the best value I can. So any question for today's call? Erica, do you have any question? Any question or comments? Okay. Nothing. Paul, do you have any question for today's call?
I know you want to keep it short, but I'm about to capture a boat here with the equipment. So I guess not necessarily for me, but anyone else, any, reminders, tips to get started on that?
So reminders, tips is you log into the platform, my.prestigevision.com, and you watch the quick tutorial and the video, like 1 or 2 minutes each, and they'll give you the best practice. And it's not just about watching the tutorial, it's about practicing, right? It might take you like maybe 1, 2, or 3 boats to get it right. And then once you know how to do it, it's just so easy and you just capture it like a breeze. So, and I know you've done a couple before, Paul, so I'm sure that'll be a wonderful walkthrough. Okay? So awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to upload this video in the community. I wish you an amazing day, and we tune up next Wednesday for our leads and listing call, and we tune up next Thursday for our next tech call. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Talk soon. Ciao.
Cheers.